Hi, today we are going to see our new framework which has been built for the purpose of servers. So the name of the particular module is called Sparx-Lite. Sparx-Lite is nothing but whenever you build any kinds of libraries or any kinds of tools, the end of the day you need to serve it through a web page or you have to convert it into web application. So the main reason behind building Sparx-Lite was to be a base framework where you can build any different types of applications. So let's jump onto it. First, go to GitHub repository and go to the Clever Insight community page, and you can see here the Sparx-Lite. The Sparx is the library and Sparx-Lite is the framework which we are going to use it now. Sparx-Lite has been built above Tornado server. Tornado servers is one of the best asynchronous server which will work with multiple throughputs, and it is known to be good for the scalability. So Sparx-Lite is an additional layer of Tornado. So let's go to Sparx right now. So I'll just show you what are the different file structures and what are the files available into it. So before going to deep into it, let's see what we are going to build. We are going to build a very simple CRUD application which can help us to understand more about how we can leverage the modules which has been integrated in Sparx. So before that, let me show you a very sample applications design view and what we are going to build. So let's go to let's go and create a new document. Now I'll just show you what type of app we are going to build. So we are basically going to have a text box like this, and we'll be having a button like this, and this will be like add task. So enter the task. You can put it as simple to-do list. So everyone might be very familiar with what is a to-do list. I'll just show you what is a to-do list. I'll just show. So if someone is coming and entering something and adding a task, it should come populated in the below. So what we can do is we can go for Windows. We'll go to and, okay. So we can go for a list item. Perfect. So like this, you will be having button. This button, trash, or you can click delete. This is a delete button, and let's go and add one more button that we can keep it as edit. So to-do list is nothing but sorry. So you got it. So item is nothing but I'm going and adding any item. Go to college is one to do. Sorry. Make coffee. Buy groceries. paste and new Todo. So just consider a to-do list is nothing but it is a form which is consisting of a button. When you go and enter something and add it, it will come to the below. So when you can go and edit this particular separate list, or you can delete it. This is a simple application which we are going to build it about Sparx framework. So let's jump out into Sparx framework. First and foremost thing what you need to do is go to the Sparx-Lite directory and go to Sparx repository, and let's clone this particular copy. Let's go to our terminal. Let's go into our any folder directory and dir. I'll keep it a session. I'll create a directory called session, and I'm going inside the directory and doing git clone and pasting that particular URL. Now ultimately the Sparx will the project code repository will be there. So whenever you want to build a new POC or a new application, you need to go and clone a new like base structure of the particular Sparx framework, and you can build it about. So let's go into this particular, let's open the text editor, and let me go into, I'll open the particular documents directory, and I can find a sessions folder. Now I can pull this particular thing here. Fine. So now we are inside Sparx directory. So we can see what are the files available. You can see there is a folder called Lite, which is having all the library structure of the Sparx-Lite framework. Static is the space where you can put all your images, JavaScripts, and CSS files. Next comes templates. This is where we have to put all the HTML templates. And Tornado, it is a library folder which you don't need to take care of it. So the base starting point of the particular application is init.py, and these are the two files which we will be very clearly working on. So I'll teach you how to do it. Now let's start this particular server and see. So let's go into the Sparx-Lite directory, whatever repository we have downloaded, Python. So before doing that, just do one thing, pip install. First you check it out whether there is a file called requirement.txt. Now what you need to do is pip install from requirement.txt. So this will install all the dependencies which is needed for Sparx library. So once that is done, I've already done it. So let me go to Python init.py. So when I give this particular command, we can see that Sparx-Lite version 0.0.1 started at the localhost 5000. So let me go to the browser and I'll type localhost 5000. So now this is actually Sparx base page. So this is like it is similar to any web application. This is the base URL. So I'll tell you what happens. For example, if you can just go and see, this is the home page of the application. Now you can build anything here. So we are going to build the to-do list here itself, or else if you want to go and create a new page also, you can go and create to-do like this. In this particular page that will be there. But let's keep it very simple. So let me go to init.py. You can see here there is one more file called documents. This is a documentation about Sparx which I'll explain you later. So you can see here I have just declared whenever someone is accessing the home URL, let it be like google.com/docs. So whenever there is no like parameters like this, and when the domain is open like this, this is the root, and all the others are subroutes. So in a web application, we need to see is I have written a condition for whenever someone is visiting a root URL, it triggers a function and it returns an HTML page. That is what we are seeing here. So if I'm going and putting a subroute like this docs, it will go and trigger a function and pick a template which is containing all the contents of this one and bring it back here. So let's see how to do it. Now when you go to Sparx directory, I have already declared 4 rows. I mean, like someone can go and log in. So if I'm going here and putting login, it will bring me a login page. If I'm going and doing a logout, it will do a logout. So all the 3 functions have been declared. But if I go and try something else apart from whatever is here, like slash dogs logs, if I'm going and typing, okay, Robin, now you can see there is an error because there is nothing declared for that particular route. So let's see how it works. I want to go and add a new route here. So I'll go here, I'll put the same, I'll just copy, or else it's pretty simple. You can directly copy the same controller like this, change it as Robin. I'll put it as Robin handler. Okay, now I have declared the pattern and I have created a class. Now I need to go to the controllers directory. So there is already other controllers written for each thing. So let's go and create a new class Robin handler, base handler. Just copy exactly the same thing. So whenever someone is sending a get request, so whenever you are just copying a URL and pasting it and just putting an enter, that is known to be a get request. But whenever a form is submitted, that is known to be a post request. I'll explain it more detail. So whenever someone is submitting a get request to this particular class, what I need to do is self dot write. Self dot write is nothing but it's similar to a return statement. Hello world, and save it. Now let's go and restart the server. See, whenever whenever you're giving it like this, you have to go and restart the server as well. So go and put a comma. I think that now if you just go and type python init.py, server has been restarted. I'm going to enter it. Let me go and create Robin. You can see now that particular URL has been defined. So this is how an MVC architecture works. Whenever you post something, you don't need to necessarily go and put a file called robin.html file, which will not take, because this is completely an MVC architecture. MVC is nothing but model, views and controllers. In a web application, when it is going to scale up into a large application, you need to keep everything separate. All HTML components are known to be the views. All components which is associated with data extraction and all these things are related to models, and controllers are the one which is used to define the function, which is used to bridge it. So these things, URLs, are called routes. So now let's go to Robin handler. We don't want it. Let's remove it because I just showed it for an example purpose. Let's go to the class also. We'll remove this. Now I will do a very simple thing. Let me go and create a class. Even I can go and do the same thing in main handler here itself, because this is a root domain. But I will create something called Todo. You can create any number of projects like that. Todo handler. I'm putting it. Now when you start, you can see immediately Todo handler is not defined. So we have to go to the controllers. Let's create a class called Todo handler, and this is extracting everything from a base handler. Define get. Whenever someone is sending a get request to this file, I'm going to self dot render a file called todo.html. So let's see, whenever this self.render function is running, it is calling a file called todo.html. So this particular file will be there inside this template, where whatever you put inside this particular template directory, you can access like this. So I'm going and creating a new file inside the template directory called todo.html. So now it's done. Let's see whether we are getting, I'm putting an empty text there. Let's see, we are exactly getting the same answer. Todo. We have to start the server. Python dot. Now if I'm going to this particular thing, you can see that I'm getting the file. Now the most interesting stuff is, you don't need to go and include all the JavaScript etc and all from this particular one, because everything is already coming with Spark. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to extend it from a base class. So extends. So here you saw that how the output is. It's very raw, no designs, nothing. But I'm going to do is extends from base.html, and I'm saving it. Now if I'm going and entering it, you can see we are getting a pretty good layout. Now if I just want to paste anything inside the particular layout, so what I need to do is, when you go to base directory, this is the base class which is having all the contents. We are directly inheriting it, and there is a block called content, and the block ends here. So in